My name's Steve and I love people who make things. We're a nation of inventive, inspiring makers.
This room alone will produce 100,000 items a year. But yeah, it used to be full of cows.
And then I'd be, Afghanistan or Iraq, sat in my room just sketching out designs, waiting to come home to play around with them.
I'm on a mission to list the greatest products we make, because if we don't champion the skills on our doorstep, we risk losing them.
And running down to our left, we have hand cutting. The problem is getting labour now.
One of the biggest challenges we have here is our ageing workforce.
Join me as we hear stories from behind the factory doors.
I remember drawing my dad's house and he said, "Why don't you count the bricks?"
Oh, he wanted you to be quiet, didn't he? Do you ever have any sleepless nights, Alex?
I don't sleep.
Together, let's make more makers. Welcome to the factory next door, and welcome to the pretty village of Littlebourne near Canterbury in south east England. We are currently just on Village Green, just outside Four Villages store, which I guess is the local store for Littlebourne and, well, maybe three other villages. We are here to celebrate something that I certainly hope you had and loved as a child. Maybe you've still got some that you love today as an adult. We are here to celebrate the teddy bear. Now then, pop quiz. Do you know why the teddy bear is called a teddy bear? I only recently discovered this. Let me give you a clue. Have a listen to this.
I am not leading this fight as a matter of aesthetic pleasure. I am leading because somebody must lead, or else the fight would not be made at all.
If you're still interested, I will tell all at the end of this episode. We are going to head off now to Canterbury Bears, which was started by the British painter John Blackburn in 1979. The company is still family owned and they still make all the bears by hand on site here. And their clients include Harrods, Liberty, Disney, Ralph Lauren. I cannot wait for us to head there and have a chat with them. Whilst I go and try and find the factory, which shouldn't be too difficult, it's not a big village, have a listen to what's coming up in this week's show.
He came home on the train, he said, "We're in the teddy bear business."
My father to me was, everything. So it was fabulous to be able to spend time together, to work together.
Oh, I love that. Someone really supporting British manufacturing there. They love what you're saying, Kerstin.
Do you think you have to have that attitude to be a British manufacturer?
Definitely. Absolutely.
What else would I do? Sit at home having coffee with all the silly old people in the village?
I hope not many people in Littlebourne listen to this show. There's not going to be a fight over him.
No, well, I've got to...
Which is fortunate because his arm's hanging off as well.
Hello.
Hello, Stephen. Hi.
Kerstin.
Hi, how are
Really
you?
nice to meet you. How
Nice
are you
to meet you
doing?
too. Very, very well. How are you?
I can spot all the birds through the windows. Their faces pressed against the windows. Kind of like, hello, we're here. What used to be this complex then?
This used to be, this was for mushroom storage. So these are single brick buildings, all used for storing of mushrooms. And so, of course, it's changed so much,
Hang on, what happened to all the mushrooms?
The mushrooms left before we got here. My name is Kerstin, and I'm the managing director here at Canterbury Bears.
Okay, we've walked into this former mushroom store. Give me a quick idea of what we're looking at here.
So what you can see lots of sample work, teddy bears, rabbits, sheep.
Yep. So on the right we've got shelves.
We've got shelves,
full,
different
chocker
shapes and
full
sizes.
of teddy bears.
Yeah.
My little boy would have a field day rummaging through all of them. And on the left, we kind of have, it's all very neat, but rows and rows of plastic boxes which look as if they have elements of teddy bears
Single-use plastic boxes.
Single-use plastic
'Cause we are
boxes,
very,
most
very,
definitely.
very environmentally friendly. But we basically need clear boxes so that we can see the fabric inside. So essentially that is a wall of all different types of fabric. And then on this side of the wall we have all of the different components for jointing the bears and eyeing them. And then behind us we have our very, very old, antiquated blow-fill machine. We like to reuse old things. We're all quite old here, but we all work very, very well.
Oh, that's not true.
It really is. And then this is our big filling bale.
Is this just a giant box of teddy bear filling?
It is. It is. And when my children were young, they used to jump in it. So yeah, and this is all recycled filling.
What's it recycled from?
It's recycled from plastic, essentially. So that could be bottles, it could be all sorts of different types of plastic.
That's amazing because it's so soft.
It's incredibly soft, and it comes sort of vacuum packed. So when you clip the ties, it expands massively. And it goes into the hopper here.
I love this. Sorry, I'm just grabbing a handful now. This in my hand is a teddy bear waiting to be born.
It is a teddy bear. It's a teddy bear waiting.
I just want to take a moment to look at some of these teddy bears because the range is extraordinary. We've got dragons, we've got sheep, we've got a lovely little blue bunny rabbit.
Yes,
a thank you there. That one looks very much like from COVID.
Yeah, exactly. We did during COVID. We designed a bear for the charity NHS. The NHS charity, and so we made hundreds and hundreds of these. That was really, really nice because obviously we raised some money for charity, but also, just spread the love a little bit, really, which is obviously really important, especially in times like that.
That's what you're in the business of, isn't it? Spreading love?
It is. It really, it is. I mean, I know it does sound a little bit, what does it sound? Not a cliche, but it is, that's what it's about. I mean, teddy bears are universally a symbol of love. They just transcend all the, age, gender, religion. I mean, everything. I mean, everybody will appreciate a teddy bear.
Kerstin's just picked up a dragon, but it's covered in sequins.
Yeah.
All blue, green, purples.
Yeah.
That is quite a showstopper.
It really, really is, isn't he? He's fantastic.
Did you say your mum had designed that?
Yeah. Yeah, you'll meet my mother. She's here today. She still comes in every day, still working.
My name's Maud. I'm Kerstin's mother. We own the business between us. I've been in the business 50 years. It's a long time. We went to a party in London. I mean, this guy was rabbiting on about how he wanted a teddy bear for his grandmother's birthday, and he couldn't find one that he wanted that had a nice nose. He didn't want a plastic nose. So John said to him, "Oh, don't worry, I'll design you one." So he designed the bear, and he took it up to Selfridges. I think he did about 4, didn't he?
Something like that, yeah.
He did about 4 bears. He took them up to Selfridges, and the guy at Selfridges said, "They're lovely bears, and but don't get into that business. It won't be a good business to be in." And then he ordered 6 bears of each. He came home on the train. He said, "We're in the teddy bear business." That was it.
So
and we started from there.
Your husband goes off, designs a bear. Then, obviously he's a very famous painter. He says, "I'm going to design a bear." Sells some to Selfridges, then says, "We're in the teddy bear business." You're on the train and you think...
I thought, I won't tell you what I thought.
And when did you join Kerstin?
I did join quite early on, actually. So probably about 1980. My father to me was, everything. So it was fabulous to be able to spend time together, to work together. But it's in my blood. It's in my blood. It is. And I think for people who run small businesses, it's very much, you have to be passionate about what you do because it's tough, Sometimes it can be very, very tough. We're pragmatic people. We're positive people.
Do you think you have to have that attitude to be a British manufacturer?
Definitely. Absolutely.
I think
Because when you think, sorry to interrupt you, when you think nowadays how many small businesses and how many new businesses actually make it through to the second year, the third year, the fifth year, and how many family businesses in particular make it to a second generation, let alone a third generation, it's really tough. You've got to be incredibly resourceful and you have to be prepared to make sacrifices. And we've made a lot of sacrifices for our business. But it's because we believe in it and we're passionate about it. And, you just have to, you live with gratitude, you live with positivity. We do make a fantastic, I don't like to call it a product, but from a business point of view, it's a product. But we're passionate about it, and everybody who works here is passionate about it.
And we're not ruthless. We're honest. We don't do anything awful to people. I mean, there's lots of people that have tried to cut our feet off us.
Did you set out with that approach though, where you thought, do you know what, I'm just going to be honest and fair in all my dealings, or is that just an extension of your personality feeding through your business?
That's how we conduct our life. That's how we conduct our life. We've had lots of traumas and things in our family, but we just pick ourselves up and get on with it.
So, Stephen, this is Mark.
Hi,
Hello, Mark. Very nice to meet you.
and you?
So this machine is an old Cox and Wright machine. Mark, how old do you think this machine is? Any idea?
80 years old.
Right, about
Seriously?
Yeah, we've had it for 40 years.
About 80 years old.
Yeah. They don't make this anymore. It's sort of like we get spare parts for it and they just say, sort of like, oh blimey, it's still working.
But we treat it kindly and we give it TLC every so often. And essentially we have lots of patterns which are like, I guess they're like pastry cutters really. Dozens and dozens and dozens of different patterns.
Rows of patterns with names on, which I assume are the names of...
The names of the bears.
Names of the bears.
Yeah, and we've got lots more over there. And then, so we, in this particular situation, we've got the fabric laid up by about 4. This is a bear called Buttony, which we make for a children's stoma charity based in Scotland. They do amazing work, so a shout out to Buttony. And then, so what Mark's doing is he's cutting out, he's taking the different pattern pieces and cutting them out.
And so this machine, is this effectively like a press cutter? It pushes down and cuts through the material.
Yeah, they're press cutters.
It's in the name, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is. Do you want to give us a demonstration, Mark? We have people who send things in to us, so it could be a piece of clothing from somebody who's passed away. I mean, we've got so many wonderful stories for people that we've really, really made a big difference to people's lives. I mean, not wanting to sort of tell too many individual stories, but for example, we had a gentleman who came in, he'd lost his wife, he had 2 young daughters. There was a coat that she had which was really, really precious to her, and she loved cats, so we created 2 beautiful cats from his wife's coat, which he gifted to his daughters. Now they'll have those cats for the rest of their lives, and it's a momentum. It's something special, And there's so many different stories like that, and that's really, really profound. It's important. We are really making a difference to people's lives and making something special, which is lovely. We get a lot of pleasure from doing that.
It must feel very satisfying at the end of that day when you do things like that.
It does feel very satisfying. It's actually, I know it sounds silly, but it's actually really emotional for the team as well. I mean, we had somebody who brought down their daughter's ashes that they wanted us to put into one of her own animals. Actually, it was a rabbit, and the parents came down. I mean, we were all in tears. I mean, no, seriously, we were, because I mean, how incredible is that for somebody to do something like that and to entrust us to do that? That's very, 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 very special, So, yeah.
Was there ever a moment where you were concerned about the future of the business?
Yeah. There have been times in the last 40 years when we have been concerned about the business. I mean, at one point, there was a lot of pressure to go overseas and to get stuff made in the Far East. Because, you know, I think people had fallen out of favour with buying English and British because it was expensive. But we've never ever bowed to pressure to get anything made in the Far East. We've actually turned down large projects rather than do that because we are totally committed, and we're the only bear maker left in the UK who has never gone to the Far East at any point, who makes everything from conception, creation, design, development to the finished bear. We're the only manufacturer.
Why have you not gone overseas?
It's not who we are. It's not what we're about. We're committed to manufacturing in the UK. We had a very exciting project at one point that Mark would have been keen to think about, and it was funnily enough, we were approached by Uri Geller in 1999, and he wanted us to create a bear with a sort of spoon bending, you know, and he wanted thousands of them. And I mean, there was no way that we could manufacture those. So, and Mark and I went to visit him in his house, and it was quite interesting. And, Mark said, look, this could be fantastic. This could be, really lucrative. But, we all discussed it, and we just thought, actually, no, that's not who we are. It's not what we're about. And the other thing I wanted to say, Stephen, is about, obviously, you've come to visit us at the workshop and you can see what we do here. But sort of downstream and upstream, we're also supporting a lot of other British manufacturers. We buy a lot of our fabric from a mill in Yorkshire. We buy all our components from UK manufacturers, even down to our recycled boxes. There are so many, dozens and dozens and dozens of...
Oh, I love that. Someone really supporting British manufacturing there. They love what you're saying, Kerstin. Can I ask what that is?
Yeah, this is our little Rosty's mobile food van. So even someone else who we support sometimes, they come to bring food to people in the courtyard. So we are supporting as well. We're supporting other UK industries, which is fantastic. Mm-hmm. Why would we want to go abroad? Why would we want to do that?
We do have to get mohair abroad, though, don't we?
We do. We buy some of our mohair in Germany, but that's the only thing.
Because we used to buy it in Yorkshire, and we went up, and
it was incredible.
And what happened to the Yorkshire factory making the mohair?
They went into receivership. Lots. Sadly, over the last 40 years, you can imagine, we've seen lots of lovely companies fall by the wayside.
Hi, if you're enjoying the show and want to support our makers and manufacturers, please hit the subscribe or follow button. If you're listening on Apple, hit the stars and rate the show. It takes a small moment but makes a big difference. Thanks. Right, back to the chat.
And mind your head, Stephen.
And just tell me, who's your colleague here working on all of the...
That's my daughter.
Is it really?
Yeah. Mother, brother, daughter. An extended family, Tess, Janice and Chloe.
Can we have a quick word with your daughter?
Yeah, I've got a bit of a cold.
That's okay. What's your name, sir?
Sapphire.
Sapphire. What an amazing name.
Thank you. It's a unique privilege to be able to be with your family in that kind of capacity.
Have you been doing it since you were very small? Yeah. I mean, you're very young now, but really young?
I mean, I came in here probably when I was 2 days old, or a newborn, or
not quite that young.
You didn't get Sapphire working then, did you?
No, I didn't.
I've been coming in here. This is a home from home. I've been coming in here to this workshop for my whole life. So, in terms of actually helping out, that probably didn't happen till quite a bit later. 17 was the first time probably that I was actually able to get any work done.
And which part? So you're working on these bluebirds at the moment.
Yeah, I'm
Just give me an idea of what you're doing.
So I'm just making sure that there are no discrepancies that we've missed, holes in any fabric or anything like that. I'm pulling out fur that could be caught in the joints. So yeah, it's mainly just checking seams and foot pads and eyes and joints, which is kind of the whole bear actually. Now I say it. But yeah, you get into a rhythm with it quite quickly, I think, and then putting on some labels.
I mean, Mother is
90 and a half.
90 and a half.
Congratulations.
And still working hard. How fabulous is that?
I used to want to go to 100, but I'm not keen now.
What brings you back into the workshop every day at 90 and a half?
Well, apart from I like the bears, what else would I do? Sit at home having coffee with all the silly old people in the village? I don't think so. And the
I hope
other
not
thing,
many people in Littlebourne listen to this show.
I don't live in Littlebourne. But the thing is, well, first of all,
you still love designing, don't you? I mean, you've still got so much to give.
I still do a lot of designing.
Oh, and I didn't mention. Oh, am I waffling? Are we waffling too much?
No, not at all. There's no such thing as waffling too much, Kerstin.
Okay, I'm going to show you this box. We did a fabulous project.
Kerstin's gone off to pull out a box.
This is and it was called the Great Teddy Bear Project, and it was to raise funds for charity. So
and on the box, I mean, it looks very Sgt. Pepper's.
It is
Sgt. Pepper's Club.
It is.
But there's teddy bears instead of the Beatles.
Exactly, and you might recognise some of these people. So there's Johnny Vegas, there's Gary Oldman, there is
Tim Peake, Michelle Roux.
Yeah, Sophia Spexter. What's his name? Michael Buble.
Michael Buble. How could you forget Michael Buble's
name? How could I? Boy George. All of these people sent us a pair of their jeans. And we made a bear for each individual person out of their jeans, trying to incorporate as much of their personality as we possibly could. And Tim Peake was really exciting. He sent us a toggle which had orbited the Earth, which was mind-blowing to hold, which we sewed onto his bear.
And what happened to the birds? Was this?
They were all auctioned.
All auctioned.
For charity.
Why, from it seems a very early stage in the company, were you keen to be working with charities and companies with a strong social purpose?
My daughter had a transplant. John gave her a kidney 50 years ago. He was the first person in England to give a child a kidney. And from then, we always got involved with giving things to Great Ormond Street.
Mother and Father walked every single mile of the coastline of England, Scotland and Wales to raise money
for the charity. And so we've just always been, we give bears to Great Ormond Street and...
But that was way before the business even started, so
but that's where
it came from. Really.
That's where it came from. So we've always been charity minded, and people write to us all the time and ask if they can have a bear or whatever for a raffle. So we try to.
Yeah.
And I think if you can, I mean, obviously, you can't give to everyone, but I think if you can, I think it's good to be able to give to charity.
So very briefly, a little earlier, Kerstin introduced me to this machine, which is extraordinary. So it's, how long is it? A kind of metre and a half, maybe?
Yeah.
Metre and a half, green cylinder, funnel at the top where the filling goes in, and then a tiny little tube coming out the side. Oh, you've got different sizes that you fit depending on the bear.
It is. So I'm just going to go and switch it on down that end.
Oh, you switch it on at the other end of the workshop?
Oh, thank you.
Is that just to keep you active?
Yeah, yeah, get your steps in, you see.
So we've got a little bear here who's quite flat, bless, at the moment. Right before our eyes, the bear is going to come to life. The machine's on, and it's operated by a foot pedal.
Yeah, right, yeah.
And the bear has come to life. Is there ever a danger of overstuffing the bear?
You sort of, as you're learning, you know how much to do in each one. Yeah, it's just you can tell by feeling as you sort of go in. Yeah.
You haven't, unfortunately, kind of exploded a bear.
No, not yet.
People will never tire of a teddy bear, will they? Ever. They're universally recognised and they're universally loved.
I've still got my bear that I had when I was 1, wrapped up in my drawer.
Yeah.
In plastic.
I got my teddy bear from when I was 7. Fred.
Yeah.
He was a basset hound. Or is a basset hound. He's still wrapped up.
And you would never ever think about being parted from him. You'd never put him in a jumble sale, would you, or give him away? No.
How could you say that?
Well,
about
exactly.
Fred?
No, but that's what I'm saying.
We were getting on
so well.
Look, I rest my case.
I mean, he has only got one eye.
Has
and
he?
an ear dropping off.
I know somebody who can do something about that.
But who do you leave? The thing is, who do you leave it to?
Him.
Fred. Who do you leave you?
Fred will be left to
To
my
who?
little one.
Oh, you've only got one?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's you.
So there's not going to be a fight over him.
No, well, I've got a...
Which is fortunate because his arm's hanging off as well. The Canterbury teddy bear goes onto the list of the greatest products we make here. Have you got any suggestions on what else could go on our list?
Yeah, Mother and I have talked about this. There is a really fabulous company in Ashford who we've known and been friends with for a long, long time, 40 years. They make the most beautiful handmade rocking horses that you have ever seen in your life. The Stevenson brothers rocking horses. Mark and Tony Stevenson, absolutely beautiful people, incredible crafts people. So,
Great recommendation.
And they live in Betherston, not far.
And they're in Betherston.
Oh, yeah.
So,
okay.
yeah, wonderful, wonderful people.
Right, great stuff. Kerstin, Maud, it's been an absolute pleasure chatting to you. Thank you so much for hosting me.
Thank you, Stephen.
Okay.
It's been
pleasure.
wonderful. Thank you so much. We really enjoyed it.
Okay, so number 19 on our list of the greatest products we make in Britain, Canterbury Bears teddy, goes into our shed of greatness. Now then, if you're still wondering why teddy bears are called teddy bears, here's a reminder of the clip.
I am not leading this fight as a matter of aesthetic pleasure. I am leading because somebody must lead, or else the fight would not be made at all.
Okay, that is, of course, former US President Theodore Roosevelt. Now, the story goes that in the early 1900s, 1902 actually, he was on a shooting trip and didn't manage to shoot anything. But his hosts, desperate to ensure that he was happy, caught a bear and tied it to a tree. I'm pleased to say he didn't shoot the bear. He refused to shoot the bear, but the story got out and it was satirised by a newspaper cartoonist. And if you look at the cartoon, there's Theodore Roosevelt with his back to the bear. Apparently a New Yorker saw this cartoon, saw a business opportunity, got a load of bears made up to look like the one that had just been sketched out in the cartoon and called it the teddy bear. Teddy, apparently a nickname that Theodore Roosevelt really, really disliked. The teddy bear was born, sales went through the roof. In the words of a very popular podcast, the rest is history. So there you go. Okay, my huge thanks to Kerstin and her team. My thanks, as ever, to you for letting me hang out with you for half an hour. And thanks enormously for all of the lovely comments we got after it was announced that we've been shortlisted for a British Podcast Award. It is wonderful that a show about people and manufacturing is getting attention and love, and that's thanks to you, me, everybody we meet along this journey, kind of pushing it forward. So thank you, hugely grateful. Right, I should wrap this up. I've taken up too much of your time. Wherever you are, whatever you are doing, I hope you are happy. Until next time.